What is up, guys? So this show's a little bit different. I had my buddy AJ on here. I've been trying to get him on the show for so long. He's fascinating. I've watched him go from struggling former dirt bike guy to millionaire. He's giving away 4 Teslas. So all you got to do is click the link down below and follow the instructions, and you can enter to win any of the 4 Teslas that he's giving away. We talked about motocross, crypto, all sorts of stuff. It's always a pleasure to chat with AJ, and I think you guys will really enjoy this one, but it is a little different. I got to thank my sponsors, Nano-tech, best pain cream out there. They are going to put opiates out of business. Coach Rob, if you're training for a big event and you want a consultation, click the link below and Coach will get you dialed in. Ride Strapped, goggles, glasses, shirts, just a really cool company that I'm stoked to be associated with. Precision Transport, family-owned shipping company that really believes in customer service and reasonable pricing. Alias MX gear, you guys bought them out of almost all their 2025 gear. The new stuff will be dropping soon, but in the meantime, if you need some bicycle gear, hit up aliasmx.com.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
All right, guys, so I had to bring on my crazy friend, AJ. AJ Rides Crypto. He's giving away Teslas on his channel. So I'm like, dude, come on. And also, he's a serious gambler, motocross fanatic. The dude's, he's all over the place. AJ, how are you doing, my brother?
Dude, I'm honored to be on your show. Been actually a fan of your channel for a number of years now. And, we've gone to some UFC fights together and stuff. It was only a matter of time until I came on and the timing felt good. So it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
For those that don't know, AJ and I, we met when we did the Hopper show back in the day. We've stayed in contact. We've become pretty good friends. And I've been begging him. He acts like, oh, first time I've been begging him to come on the show. AJ has got some of the best insight, and he's just a no fucks given person. And I mean, he's crazy. Dude, you gamble. Like, what you do gives me heartburn, and it's your money.
I mean, high conviction, man. Like when you believe something's going to happen and you know it deep down. We were talking about it right before we went live. I put, I'm up over 200K just gambling this year. I put 120,000 on the Eagles. I put 60,000 on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. And I also made like around 30,000 on the college basketball finals game. And the last Patty Pinwood fight was a big bet too. And but see, I don't bet, the week 8 game against the Cowboys. I wait for a significant occurrence, and I only take risk in when there is a significant occurrence. So when you do that, you can kind of find the narrative and exploit the narrative, like the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Well, Netflix was doing this big production, all these sponsors, the first time live boxing event. Well, they're going to dip into that well again, right? And which of those 2 fighters could they dip back into that well with? Obviously, Jake Paul. That was an easiest money I've ever made in my life. So it's scary. It's a lot of money and it's high conviction, but it's also one of those things that like I don't like the word gambling. I like the word risk taking. And I grew up racing motocross. I went to Loretta's in the C class in 2008, bro. You know what I mean? Like we grew up racing, and as racers, we take calculated risks every time we let the clutch out. And I feel that motocross racers would make great crypto traders. I'm not going to lie.
Seriously, and we've talked about crypto trading, and you've tried to get me a little bit into it, but I haven't been able to pull the trigger. I'm just too scared. I need to just like give you money and say, let me know in a year if I lost it or if it made money, because I can't go with the ups and downs. What would you tell someone like me that wants to do it, but I'm like, what do we do? How do you get into this thing?
Sure. So, I mean, it kind of depends on what your goal is. I always start with, okay, how much money are you willing to set on fire? If it all goes to shit, how much? And 2, say you want to trade $20,000. All right. At what point are you going to pull the parachute if it goes down? And at what point are you going to totally get out when it goes up? And know those parameters before you ever click go. So that's step 1. And step 2, I mean, is kind of looking at alt season, which I think is coming. Basically, the top of every Bitcoin cycle comes a year and a half after the halving. The last halving, and this has happened every single time in crypto. And the last halving was last year. So the projected top is, kind of September, November-ish this year. So right now, it's never been a better time to accumulate crypto if you are a believer in the Bitcoin halving, which I am. I've been in crypto full time since I would say early 2020. I got into it back in 2016, and yeah, I mean, you gotta do your homework. People think that crypto is like, oh, I'm just gonna jump in this thing and throw money at letters and multiply my money. Like, you kind of have to do the research, just like watching racing. Like if you're trying to explain the difference between the 450 and the 250 class and the East and the West, there's like a lot of little things to get that base layer of knowledge. But once you get that base layer of knowledge, just go from there. And it's a grind, but I absolutely love it. I'm not gonna lie.
See, and I hear you saying stuff like the last time there was a Haven. I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. You speak a Haven. You have a different language, and that's where I get terrified. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting money at numbers.
Well, you have good friends. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I gotta get into that. Speaking of high end stuff, this big money. So you and I have a different opinion on Jet going to the Met Gala. So Jet was out there rocking his high end stuff with all these rich people that are saying, "Look at me," and listen. I know you've earned all your money. You came from not much. Same here, and I still don't have that much. But even if I did, I think that's disgusting. And I don't know why he's there, man. And there's these creeps. Wasserman's there. It's the Epstein crowd. I feel like Diddy.
It is funny that, sorry to cut you off, but it is funny because I was like, my fiance and Jada and I were talking about Jet being Met Gala, and I was like, I think it's the coolest thing ever. It's good for visibility for the sport. It's good to people to view racing at that level in like high fashion and designer. Like, I think that's cool. It would be cool to see designer sponsors in motocross. That'd be insane. So I'm all for that. But it is funny. She pointed out, she was like, he got in there because of the Wasserman group. And I was like, oh my, you connected those dots very well. And she's right about that. But I don't really have an opinion. I honestly, personally don't know those people. I've heard stuff from a couple sources, but I don't personally know them. So I can't really make that much of a judgment about them in particular. I'm sure we could get into the Lucas Myrtle stuff later. But I like Jet. I think he is a badass dude. I remember watching him when he, broke his collarbone chasing Ferrandis on a 250, and like no one has made me like yell at a television like Jet Lawrence. Maybe like Hayden Deegan and a couple other guys, but like I think it's great for the sport, man. I think the more visibility and the more people associate motocross with the higher level, that's all good for the sport, man. I'm for it.
See, and that's what it's weird hearing you say that, because you can rock Redbud Lot B like nobody else. I don't know, man. I don't see a lot of the Lot Bull, like the Lot B Red Bull, people out there. I don't see that crowd ever paying attention to the Met Gala. And I don't ever see the Met Gala people ever giving a shit about our sport, even if they think Jet's cool. It's more like, oh, well, you're the champion. Oh, congratulations, champion. You're welcome, but no one else is.
Yeah. I mean, think about like when Ken Roxon showed up to the press conference wearing a suit and everyone else is wearing their Monster Energy Honda shirts or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's good visual optics for the sport. And if you know like anything about marketing, anything about, building a brand, optics is everything. And sure, the Lot B crowd might not understand it, but we might be getting some new viewers with deeper pockets into the sport. What's wrong with that? They might not agree. They might not be Lot B people, but there's still people who turn the race on Saturday night. And that's what matters to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, you make a really good point. You do. And, I'm just a little bit more, I don't know. I
hear you, bro. Don't get me wrong. I hear you. I get
annoyed with the highfalutin, let's go after this new demographic, bring these new sponsors when these promoters won't even pay the riders. I'm like, are you serious? Wait, well, then again, those people are probably like, wow, you actually get all these people to do this for that little? And they probably think it's awesome that they can exploit people that way.
Yeah, I do completely hear that argument where like, the riders aren't paid enough. Like I have a couple friends who are privateers, some of them more successful than others. And dudes go out there and put their lives on the line in practice. It's 10 a.m. They're out there risking their lives and 10 in the morning. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But it's just like the risk takers, man. And the glory and the if I could make it to the main, I just want to make it to the main. That is so cool because I mean, I get it. It might not be financially what it could be, but when that guy has his kids, has his grandkids, he gets to tell that story. And that is what racing is about, man. Like, those times you put it all on the line and you achieved this thing. When I made it to Loretta's in the C class in 2008, dude, I was so happy I cried, bro. I was a C rider, and you know what I mean? Like, but I was still so proud to do that. And I'm sad that part of racing does get exploited. But at the end of the day, racers are going to race, dude. They're going to race no matter what's on the line. They're going to race. That's it.
You can pay these guys whatever that you want to pay them. The dream stays alive. I don't care if, you get to the night show, you make $1 million. They're still going to race for the exact same reasons they race right now. The money is just something that would facilitate them to do it more and to make it more reasonable for them to actually have a lifestyle where they can be a professional racer. That's all I want. I want them to be professional racers and move on. And speaking of professional, what did you think of my boy Hayden Deegan? And you've been a big Deegan fan from the beginning. I was in the beginning. I thought he moved up pro too soon. Ate my words on that one.
Yep.
And I called him out on Loretta's. I have turned around, and I am just so impressed with the kid. What did you think of his interview and the move on Davies?
Well, dude, I met Hayden Deegan. I don't know if he would remember, but I met him when he was racing super minis at Loretta's. We went one year and took the motor home, just to be there and just to watch the races. It was a great time. And I always thought it was so funny how so many people, he's only there because of his dad and they got the money and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter what you say. That kid's going to go out on that track and put it on the line like no other. Like, he got that dog in him. And he, like, when he says, I'm him, like, yeah, it's cocky. Yeah, it's arrogant, but he's right. Like, and that head game, that, big confidence, that scares people, dude. Like, they're going to think twice to do the same move on him. And motocross is completely psychological, and he has that edge. And I hope he carries it into the 450 class. And he's a bad dude, man. And you got to give it to him. I actually, earlier in the year, I went on Hopper's show with Coach Rob, and I'm not going to lie, I thought Juju had something for him. I thought Juju was going to take it down, at least take it to the end. And I know, like, he had a couple injuries or whatever, but in terms of, you all can suck it in the past and all that, I think we show it, that podium interview showed his age a little. He is a 19-year-old kid at the end of the day. And he also worked his whole life, and that Supercross championship eluded him. He missed it by 4 points the year before. And then this year he got it. And when he has his moment, the crowd's booing at him. So in the moment, I totally get why he said it. There are other things he could have said. I'm sure his sponsors didn't love it, but that's Hayden Deegan. Like, what you see is what you get. He's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's going to tell you how he feels. It wasn't that out of pocket coming from him, although it was out of pocket, period, if that makes sense. In terms of the past, sure, Davies is his teammate, but it wasn't really dirty. Like, I could not believe there was a whole thing about, the AMA is reviewing this pass. I'm like, did the AMA review the pass when Zach Osborne sent Joey Savaccia to the Shadow Realm? He sent Savacci to Narnia, bro, and no one said shit. So, like, reviewing what pass? Davies went further outside going into that corner than he did the whole race. Like, he put himself in that position, and he didn't really get booted. He got like a little bump, but like, I used to race pit bikes. I know what a T-bone is. Like, that wasn't much, man. That wasn't that bad.
Dude, the way he left that door open, if Hayden wanted to, he could have put him into the next rhythm lane. No problem. I mean, He literally just teed it up. And I do have to correct you. The AMA did fine Zach Osborne, I think, $2,500 for that move.
Well, you know what? He just made a
like anyone ever cares, and that's why you didn't even know about it, because nobody gives a shit. They should not be legislating competition moves. Now, if a guy slows down and is a lap down, you got to do something. That's bad. But this is kind of like hockey. You take a guy out, just know you got one coming back, and that's the way we should mostly handle the sport. Pretty much just stay out of it. They're warriors, they're gladiators. Let them handle their shit themselves.
Dude, motocross is a contact sport. I grew up when I was racing, especially like, in my B class years, 2010 through 2012, it was cutthroat back then. And like, you had to ride dirty. You were violent or you were a target. And that was the culture. Everyone idolized Jason Lawrence. Everyone kind of would like to talk shit. Oh, I took him out. Like that was cool. Like that was the culture when I grew up racing. So when you see a guy get a little bump and everyone cries about it, I'm like, and the whole crowd boos. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. It's a contact sport. Stay out of it and let them race, period.
And I love that the crowd was that into it and they were that emotionally vested. And it's hard not to boo when you look and you see this broken-hearted kid in Cole Davies. So like what it looked like afterward, it's like, why would you do that to him? But then when you look at what he actually did, it wasn't very bad. But the aftermath from it is what I think really triggered everybody. But the fact that everybody's that emotionally involved and that Hayden Deegan has got them paying attention, everybody wins. And those sponsors that got mad at him, they are dumbasses. They do not know marketing from their head, from their ass. They are really dumb. And if they knew anything, they would just say, you know what? Thank you for being our guy, Hayden. You say whatever you want. Don't say swear words, no racial slurs, but suck it. Come on.
Dude, this is the people forget. And, as a content creator myself, I'm well aware this is the business of attention, period, dude. So, and look at Deegan's YouTube channel. They got that figured out and power to them. I can't do anything but tip my hat to him. I really can't. And certainly Davies, and really, this might be the best thing that ever happened to Cole Davies because he's going to think about that past. Deegan might have just created a monster, dude.
Or he might have just destroyed him.
No, Davies is going to come back better than ever.
I'm just saying, he probably will come back, and he's young, and he will bounce back. But Zach Osborne ruined Joey Savacci. He was never the same. He was up until that point, he was a perennial race winner, championship contender. His career completely sputtered. It never got back on track. It literally took the momentum. And I've seen that happen to a lot of guys. You have this gigantic emotional high and then a huge low. It's not easy to be bounced back. I'm going to be watching really close to see how Cole Davies responds this weekend. Can he be that quarterback that throws the interception and then just comes back and throws a touchdown? Or is he going to be scared? You don't know what's going to happen to him.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Davies win by 10 seconds.
Oh, for sure. Dude,
I wouldn't be surprised.
You were talking about Jet earlier and how he was his rookie season. I've seen that in Cole Davies. I had no idea that was there. I watched him in Futures or SMX Next, and he was good. I saw him at Loretta's. He's not so good outdoors, but he did win a Moto. I expected him, and Coach Rob and I argued about this earlier because we both didn't think it was the right time for him to turn pro. But clearly, I don't know when someone should turn pro, obviously. I said one more year in SMX Next and then go for it. But there's not a lot of rides. So he went for it. Coach and I were arguing where he would finish. I said he'd be, top 10, possibly top 5. And Coach didn't even see him in the top 10. And look what he's doing. Like, holy moly. Nobody did this.
I think it's one of those things where, he had to win to survive or he was going home. So he kind of put himself in an all or nothing situation every time the gate dropped and he got used to it. You don't realize that you can win a race until you get a whole shot and lead for half a lap. And then you realize, oh shit, I'm doing this right now. This is happening right now. And he adapted to the culture better than most. I think he's going to be a champion 100%.
I cannot disagree with that. And the thing that blew me away about Davies is when he did get those whole shots and when he ran up front, a lot of times when a rookie's up there, you're like, oh, but he looks like a rookie that's up there and he's going to fade back. Something's going to happen. He looks like he did not. He looked like a veteran out there. He looked like a guy who knew what he was doing and belonged. He believed he was supposed to podium and win. We didn't, but he did. Yeah,
I've been to a handful of races this year because they kind of aligned with my travel stuff with crypto. And I watched a couple practice sessions and didn't watch many other people. And I followed Davies do a whole practice. And the kid is composed. He looks like I haven't seen someone like that comfortable putting his bike exactly where he wants it probably since Christophe Pourcel. And if anyone's been watching for a long time, that's a bold statement. And he has the speed to back it up. I do, I understand where Deegan came from because, although he won the title, there are people that are saying, yeah, but Davies is faster. And I don't know, man. And I think that's why we line him up every week. That's why the gate drops once a week, and thank God, Thank God. That's what makes us keep watching, because I feel like some days Davies is better and some days Hayden is better. It could be track conditions. It could be, elevation or the cardio or just their diet that week, whatever. But that's why we race them, man.
Well, Deegan hasn't won this championship with speed. He's won it with that dog you were talking about, that determination that I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I don't care that Davies has got a half second in the whoops. I'll find it somewhere else. Right. And that intangible, that's what I didn't know that he had. That's the intangible that you can't buy. I don't care how many practice tracks you get or bikes or whatever is given to you. You don't get that. You earn that. That is something that comes from deep inside, and that's what's been impressive. Now, with Hayden Deegan, now he's won the Supercross championship. He's got an outdoor championship. He's got 2 SMX championships. I think he might go 450 next year, Supercross.
Probably not.
The plan has been to go defend and then go outdoors. But I'm like, you know what? Deegan's just crazy enough to start riding that 450. He's a guy that craves a challenge. The same reason that he jumped out of futures and went pro early. I would not be shocked if he jumps on. He's got his own semi next year. It's kind of a big deal. You don't want to take it to half the races. Don't be surprised if he rides Supercross on a 450.
Well, I actually I did some writing for Racer X a year ago. It was kind of spread out a little bit. And I did a press conference. I believe the press conference in particular I'm referencing was Philadelphia last year. And I asked Hayden straight up. I said, hey, basically the championship was already over. And I was like, with all respect, anything could happen next week. But in the event you don't win this title, is this a good thing for you? Because then you'd have to 450. You defend 450. Like, are you glad to have that extra year? And he was like, yeah, that's definitely something we think about. And I'm basically I want to ride my 250 until I can't anymore. And I think that's smart. I believe he will defend Supercross and then step up when he has to. That's my take because of that interaction. I
remember you asking that question. And I was like, yes, finally somebody asked a real question at one of these press conferences. That was a great question. I don't know, man. I feel like once he rides that 450, if it's going good, they're going to abort and they're going to go 450. We'll see.
Hey, we'll see. Time will tell. Want to bet $5? $5 bet.
Yeah, $5 done.
All right, done deal. I like it.
That's a big bet for me. That's absolutely zero for you. So
that's hilarious.
So Webb and Sexton, what a couple of warriors this season. Not last week, but the week before, when they took it till the end. Have you ever seen two riders more spent afterward? Both dudes looked like they couldn't stand. I mean, they gave everything. What do you think of these two battling out? And does Sexton have a chance this weekend at all?
That race is why I watch Supercross. Watching that race is why I sit down every weekend and say, all right, babe, it's time to watch the race. That's why. Cooper Webb is someone I've, rubbed shoulders with. We, parked next to him a couple of times at the races back when he was racing Super Mini on that 4-stroke Barker. I met his dad a couple of times and they're good people. He's always just been like this, and all the other kids were out, tabling each other and, throwing eggs or whatever. He was probably in his motorhome looking at pictures of corners, bro. You know what I mean? And, he's always had that focus, and that is the separation. And I think he wasn't the fastest guy, but he was the most experienced. And once it became a 2-horse race, I knew that Chase was going, that Cooper Webb was going to deliver. I just kind of knew it deep down. I wish I could have found somewhere to place a bet on it, but no, I think Sexton will be back. I think Sexton knows that he has the ingredients. He just hasn't made like the perfect pie yet. But then again, look at who he has to line up against every week, especially when everyone comes back and everyone's healthy. I mean, I think he could be a champion, again, but it's also, it's stacked. It's stacked. That unknown is what worries me about when Jet gets on the line. I'm like, yeah, Jet's probably going to win. I very rarely say that about Chase Sexton. That might just be me being critical, but he doesn't have it like Jet does. And the fact that Cooper Webb in a pressure cooker championship situation just goes out there and just rides 8 feet in front of him for 20 minutes.
Dude, and it's funny too. If you showed like somebody a picture of both those guys and said these guys are professional athletes, Cooper's got the dad bod, short, kind of pudgy. You look at Sexton, looks like a Greek god until you know the pudgy one outlasted him. Holy crap! Like it's funny how you can't measure heart.
Cooper's stronger than people think, man. He's a dog. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. You can't measure the intangible strength and like a lot of it. I mean, it's not just straight physical muscle. The dude is just mentally. I mean, he just makes himself do it.
He does have that edge, and I wonder if there's been some, behind the talk. He hasn't remember back in the day when he would like talk shit on the line and like all that kind. I wonder if there has been some of that going on that we don't see, and I wouldn't be surprised. But to be honest, dude, Chase Sexton needs to take a long look in the mirror, in my opinion. In the same corner, Deegan put over his own teammate. Sexton could have put Cooper Webb in the cheap seats and did not. Like, dude, why are you coming to these races? Why are you doing this? You're dedicating your life to this thing, and you had an open door with a championship on the other side of it. All you had to do was just boot his ass. Like, the door was wide open. And when you see those moments come and go.
Was that the lap before he did hit him?
When he hit him, he should have hit him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It wasn't the same turn. It was the one before the finish line.
Oh, it was the finish line. You're right.
I was confused.
It was a similar setup, though. It was similar in that. Well, also, let's be fair. Cooper leaned in a lot harder than Davies did, but I know how to take someone out. I've seen it done 1,000 times. Sexton is the reason Sexton's not winning that title. Right, that moment right there, he could have done a lot more damage.
I don't know, man. I thought he hit him pretty hard. I mean, he went right for it. I mean, his fork tube right by his leg. I mean, that could have been bad. And then they hit that little double afterward. I think it was just Cooper Webb's racer IQ, because there is a defense. You have to learn how to defend yourself out there. I had an older brother. We tried to take each other out all the time. And, if somebody's blocking, leaning in, and checking up the right times, it is difficult to make a takeout move on somebody who's riding smart.
Okay, I hear you, bro. I hear you. But if you and I were racing Surons on a golf course, and I said, if you can take me out right now, I'll give you $1 million. Would you have hit me harder than Sexton hit Cooper Webb in that corner?
Would it matter if I went down too?
No, I'm just saying.
Then yeah. Well, in that case, I'm taking us both down, and I'm not worrying about it. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah, because he hits him any harder, and he might go over the berm too. But I guess he should probably not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but then again, they're going to probably disqualify you, and I don't know. I think he did everything he could. The guy I'd be pissed at is Justin Cooper running as his bodyguard out there.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Oh, I am too. It's part of the sport.
Yep.
But I think Justin Cooper in the end is probably going to regret it, because pick another season. Look how many guys are coming back. Is he ever going to have a chance to win races again?
I honestly, dude, I think Justin Cooper's a head case. I think he gets in his own way. It's obvious he has the speed. It's obvious he has the conditioning, but I think he lacks the mental strength that Cooper Webb has. I don't see him going out there and walking the dog and getting multiple wins. Doesn't matter if it's the soft gate we have now or the stacked one at the beginning of the year. I don't see him being a championship guy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he'll ever win a championship in the 450 class.
I agree with you, but I don't know if he'll ever win a race. I think this might be his best chance, and for him to instead be playing wingman. Like, I talked to Ron Lachine back in the day. I talked to him at one of our sales meetings, and he said he left a lot of wins on the table blocking for Wardy. And he said if he had one regret, that was it. He should have not, because in the end, nobody cares that he helped out his teammate and whatever. He should have said, I should have went out and got those wins. I don't know what I was doing. That was a mistake on my part.
I mean, when he passed that heat race, dude, passed them both in that one lap. Was that Pittsburgh? Yeah, Pittsburgh. He's taking outside in the split lane. Whew, cooking. I'm not saying he's not fast. I'm not saying I don't have respect for him. I just think that he's cold more than he's hot, and it's like it's a mental game, man. And I think he lacks the edge. I'm going to say that again.
Okay, so now we're talking about 450s and Star Yamaha. So now they've basically told Eli Tomac, you didn't tell us what you're going to do. We've spent our money. go somewhere else.
They're idiots.
You.
I think Star they're idiots. If you have a chance to sign Eli Tomac on a bike he's comfortable on, you're dumb. You're dumb. Honestly, dead honest. I might be a controversial take. If it was up to me, right here, right now, to be Yamaha's guy, and I either signed Cooper Webb or Eli Tomac, I would still sign Eli Tomac.
Even if
good.
Early in the year, so Cooper Webb comes to you and says, hey, I'm winning the championship. I want to sign for next year, or I'm going to go somewhere else. You have to sign him right there, right? Because you can't let Cooper Webb go. He's going to win the championship this year. But you have to save money for Tomac. And if you save the money, it's a real hard situation for them to be in. And you only have so much to work with.
Well, I'm not going to say that Cooper Webb only won because everyone got hurt. I'm not saying that. A part of this is to survive. A part of this is to race every round. You got to be there.
How dare you say that he only won because people got hurt?
I said I'm not saying that. I just said I am.
I know, but we all know whenever somebody says you're not saying that, you're kind of saying that.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm starting what I'm saying because that's what I don't want people to think. That's why I said that. Okay? I'm not saying that. Survival is a part of it. But in any situation, if there's a new series and everyone's healthy again, I'm betting on Eli. I'm betting on if we run this simulation 100,000 times, Eli's winning more than half of them, period.
Well, I'll tell you who's absolutely thrilled about Star not signing him is Ducati. That's basically his old Honda Geico team rejuvenated, and they want him so bad. And I don't know, but that bike looks like crap in the GPs, or maybe it's just Jeremy Seawer isn't very good. I don't know. And you gotta have a strong bike under Eli Tomac.
Eli is a smart enough dude to trust whatever he throws his leg over. I don't think he would line up on a bike he's not like stoked on. I don't ever remember Eli having bike issues ever.
Are you serious?
I don't. Not in my memory.
What, he blamed all the different Kawasaki clutch parts and
yeah, but he would still make it work though. But I'm saying
he still made it work, but he blamed the bike a lot.
That's fair. I'm just saying from where I stand, he's always had a bike under him that he could win on. He could win no matter what. And I don't think he would sign on a team if he didn't think he could win on that bike. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have to agree, but I'm a little scared. Gosh, when you get a guy that good, and we're getting bonus years because he could have retired a long time ago and rode off in the sunset. We are getting bonus years with one of the greatest to ever do it. He's one of the greatest personalities, even though he has not a lot of personality. That is its own thing because I think it's authentic. It's who he is. He's kind of weird, but it's nice to have him around and to give up those years just because you didn't have enough money at Yamaha. That stings a little bit, man. It really does.
Yeah, I don't know. I met Eli Tomac. He was probably 11, and I was probably 12 or 13 at Minios. And we like kind of shot the shit with Blake Wharton, like kind of right before we all went out to practice one time. And dude, Eli is actually hilarious. I don't think people know that about him. He's funny, dude. Even back then as a kid, he was really funny. And I think, dude, like I've seen him kind of grow into like this, like everyone respects Eli, period. No one talks the kind of shit on Eli that they talk on literally anyone else. And that is just disrespect. It's respect. And I think that Eli is a warrior. And if he decides to line up, he knows he can win the title. If he retires, it's because he doesn't think he can win the title. If he shows up week one, motocross or supercross, whatever, he knows he can win, period. That's the guy he is.
That's what he's always said. It's funny because I argued with Coach Rob and Johnny back in the day. They wanted to retire him like 4 years ago. I'm like, listen, take him at his word. He has said he likes racing. If he still thinks he can win, he will keep racing. I'm like, dude, you're going to see him for like 5 or 6 more years because he's not going away. And now you're right. So if he throws his leg over that Ducati, he's probably ridden it and probably thinks he can win them.
Yeah. Dude, what's going on with Jason Anderson, man? I'm bummed about that. I heard some stuff. I don't really know. I like Jason Anderson. I've talked to him about crypto a couple times. He holds like 3 Bitcoin. He's like he's actually a really cool dude if he opens the door for you that much to talk to him. And I'm upset because I'm a fan. I like him. I know that some people don't. I know some people think he's a jerk. I get why they say that. But like I said, in the culture I grew up in racing, that the way he rides is like, let's go. So, yeah, I hope he's okay, man. I hope to see him back. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's a combination of things. I heard a lot of the crazy rumors, probably the same ones you did. People were talking about it was crazy. And I'm like, I followed up. I couldn't find anything on those rumors. All I could find out is I know he was pissed. So the week after Chase Sexton cleaned him out, remember that?
Yep.
The next week was Seattle. Not only is he furious this guy just took him out, now he finds out this guy just took the money for his ride the next year.
Right.
And he will not be re-signed. So he's at Seattle. I don't know when he found that out, but he's been sick ever since San Diego. And these guys push through chronic illness, and you can't recover during the season because you're traveling, working out, racing. You just can't get back to 100%. And he's probably like, well, listen, why am I going to dip into that extra reserve for you guys? You're not even going to be there for 2026.
I always hated that about Supercross is that you literally are riding a bike surrounded by people that don't want you there anymore and that don't believe in you enough to have you here the next year. And you're still supposed to show up like you're the man. That's a big, you have to have good relationships with people. And when you got someone trumped you in a sign pick and you're still showing up every weekend, you must feel like a smacked ass. That sucks. I never liked that about the politics. Why don't you guys figure it out after the season? Let guys, because that's such an ego hit. You really think he's going to go out there and perform after you did that to him? Really?
Yeah. Well, they do try and keep it secret, but guys like us start talking about it and it opens it up and everyone
that
finds
damn
out.
That damn Cooksey.
It's not all me. I've found a couple of them, and this one I happened to find out. So yeah, I don't know, man. I really like El Hombre, and I was stoked to see him at Paula this week because what I had been hearing is I heard he didn't show up for a couple test sessions. So I'm like, shoot, are we ever going to see him on the Kawasaki again? So to see him out there riding gives me hope that he's coming back for the Nationals. He's got to show something because he doesn't have a ride next year. I mean, they're talking Club MX, Team Tedder. I know he wants the Ducati deal, but if Tomac takes that, what does he do? And I don't want to see him retire. He's too good to retire just because there's no rides.
That's it drives me a little crazy how people are like, oh, we don't want privateers, but there's barely enough factory rides. Come on, man. Dudes retire because it's factory team or out, one or the other, and they leave. And do you blame them?
Well, would you want to go spend your money? I mean, this is where I get pissed at the series because the series takes all the money from media, they take all the money from ticket sales, and they keep it. And they say, go make money from a factory team. Well, if there's no factory team, they can go spend their own money and race, but they're spending their own money to race. They're not going to do that at this point in their life when they're set, when they got a lot of money. They got a nice nest egg. They're going to go waste that racing, winning races, and still not covering their expenses when they absolutely could. Now, in the 90s, it was fine because the promoters weren't making a lot. They were happy to just have a place to race. We're talking a $200 million a year streaming deal right now with SMX.
Yep.
Pretty sure it's a done deal for the next probably 3 to 6 years. And the riders and teams get squat.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I got a lot of respect for a lot of people behind the curtain. I know them. I have good relationships with them. But, man, that element, it's not fair. It's not fair. And the world's not fair. And it's a cutthroat place and business is business. I get it, dude. Trust me. But
AJ, you're a businessman, and I know you like to make money, and I understand the promoters like to make money. My point is, if they profit share like all the other very successful sports, F1, football, baseball, basketball, when you give back to your competitors and your product, it grows and everything grows, and they find out they make more money by sharing than they do by hoarding it.
People are greedy, bro. People are greedy. Feld has rubbed me wrong a lot of times. I understand most of the time with MX Sports, but Feld, no. When they kicked out Road to Recovery, dude,
disgusting.
What the fuck is your problem? Dudes are out here literally getting paralyzed. People you're not paying, by the way, are out here getting paralyzed in your circus. Elephants are breaking their legs out there, guys. and you can't even sell a couple of hoodies to help them out.
And they weren't even selling them. So what they were doing
I bought one at A2.
Well, it was just a donation, and you got one.
Yeah, it was $50. It's a nice
$50
hoodie.
your donation. You get a little gift bag, right?
Yeah, I think
they said it was
cool.
taking away. Prater told them it was taking away from their merch sales, and they can't do it. And they told them, we give you a free booth here. You can't do that. And they're like, well, why would we? It costs a lot of money to travel to those events, set up, and do all that. If they're just getting donations to cover the travel fees, what are they doing? But if they came up with a unique way to get money to help guys like Jerry Robin, Chad Sauls, who have life-changing injuries, and then they say, no, you're cutting into our fucking t-shirt sales.
It's a personal thing for me, man. If you grew up racing, you know a couple kids that got paralyzed. Yeah. I know multiple families that were destroyed, not just the kid, but the family too. All right. And it's a life-altering thing. And I don't give a shit who you are. That decision was fucking dirty. Those people should be allowed to sell those hoodies and help the people who sacrifice their lives for literally our entertainment. All right. Like that part pissed me off. It's a fucking joke. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. But hey, sending our best to Jerry Robin. I know he's doing a lot better. They got him back in California. I don't want to forget about Chad Sauls, another privateer. His wasn't nearly as public because he got hurt at a practice track. Very similar. He's working through it. And then there's so many other people. Like I said, you and I know there's so many. Another thing that pisses me off is they don't talk about it. They won't say, oh, Jerry's paralyzed on TV because they're afraid it's going to hurt the industry. Listen, we all fucking know. We all fucking know. We've got social media. We understand it's a risk. You and I both know. Every single time you throw a leg over a dirt bike, that's a possibility, and we live with it. Yep. Stop trying to hide it because it just makes it look like it.
The fact they don't say anything, they should say, hey, we lost a good one. Here's his GoFundMe link. Yeah. Wish him the best. It would take 2 minutes and it would probably help out a lot. Like, why not? Why not?
I don't know, man. Those are the things that drive me nuts. It doesn't take much. Listen, we love this dream and we're going to chase this dream no matter how bad they screw with this. Yeah. But at some point we're going to say, screw you. We're not doing this. And they're getting to that point. Like they're pushing more and more and more. Like we'll work for free. We'll chase the dream, but stop kicking us out of the pits.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's
it is insane. But I think that I do feel though that when we do shows like this, when people with a platform voice their opinion, they do hear us. They do hear us. And I think in a couple years, stuff like this will probably work itself out because it's not like no one has a heart. You know what I mean? Like I feel that as long as people are heard and people are like, yeah, that guy's right. What the fuck are you guys doing? I think that eventually things will work itself out. That's just me.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of, that's the bad part of the sport. We love this so much, but there is a bad side. And I'm just like, well, we can talk about it. We can address it and we can reduce it. You'll never get rid of it. This is a dangerous sport. Yeah. Even if you fix the tough block issue, Supercross is dangerous, but just let's stop with the dumb putting blocks.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like it's a quick fix, dude. It's a quick fix. I've crashed so many times because of tough blocks on a track. You know what I mean? Like even like local races. And it's just like if that thing's cardboard and you run it over, you can still put the sponsor logo on it, except it's not going to hurt the rider. And it's like, why not? Like it's the little things that are common sense. That's like, come on.
Yeah, AJ, I found a solution for them. The one that they used at the Paris Supercross,
right?
Tough blocks. I forget the exact price was, but they weren't very expensive. They could drop 1 or 2 semis, hauling those things around. I will save them money and
I'll buy them. You tell Feld, I'll buy them. What's up?
AJ writes crypto. Let's put that on those tough blocks, the new ones, safe ones. Speaking of that, man, you are killing it these days. And I want to win the Tesla you're giving away. Tell me about this Tesla giveaway. I'm eligible, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone can sign up. Everyone can sign up. It's completely random. So let's start from the beginning. I do crypto content, and I'm a media partner with a blockchain company called VeChain. VeChain has been around, I believe, since 2017. It's a top top 50 blockchain, top 60 blockchain, well respected, has been around forever. They sponsor the UFC. Now with the TKO merger, they sponsor Power Slap, PBR bull riding, WWE. I literally did an interview with Dana White a couple of weeks ago. It's really cool. Check it out on my channel. And Sonny Liu, the founder of VeChain, is a really good friend of mine. We kind of agree. We're good friends. And you've come to a UFC fight with us. You know the vibe with the VeChain guys.
VeChain, first class, UFC 300, Power Slap the night before. Yep. Dude, that was a life-changing experience. That was so fun. They gave me a Bruce Buffer signed card. That was a great weekend. Thank you for that, and thank you to VeChain. That was awesome. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad that you got to see that, because sometimes, like, when I explain to people what I do, I don't really think they get it. But when they do an event like that, they're like, "Oh, I see what you're up to," you know. So, so Sonny and I got together, and we wanted to kind of do something to. Because basically VeChain is a blockchain and you can trade the VET token like you could trade Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. But then they have another part of the company called VBetterDAO. And VBetterDAO is a sustainability push. So basically you can earn free crypto by charging an electric vehicle or drinking a cup of coffee out of a reusable mug instead of a paper or plastic cup. You can earn free crypto for going on a walk or cleaning up a park or cleaning up dog poop, or there's a bunch of things you can earn free crypto by doing these simple actions that you probably already do in your everyday life anyway. And like, why would you not get paid to drink coffee or get paid to go on a walk or charge your car? So it's really just kind of bringing awareness that you can do these things on VBetterDAO. And if you sign up for the Tesla giveaway, one of the required actions to sign up for the giveaway is to download the VWorld wallet. And the VWorld wallet is like the portal into VBetterDAO. And of course, I have like videos on my channel explaining how to do all that. So we're giving away 4 Teslas this year total. The first 4 Teslas. The first one goes off. So 3 days. You guys got 3 days left to sign up if you're watching this Friday, May 9th. And after that, there will be 3 more chances. And the last one is a Cybertruck. The last one at the end of the year. I want the Cybertruck, dude. I really do. I know they get a lot of crap, and I'll probably get keyed, but I'll have Tesla keyer. Have you got any blowback for driving a Tesla from the liberals?
Oh, yeah. So Jada picks it up, right? And because I had to ship it across the country, I just moved to Washington from Georgia. And of course, Washington, right? This state voted for Harris. I'll tell you that much. They drank the Kool-Aid for sure. So we had a note from this woman wrote us this note. It says, stop support. So she put it in a bag. She got a Post-it note, she weatherproofed this note, bro. Put it in a bag. And it says, stop supporting fascist assholes. P.S. Your truck is ugly. I tweeted it. Twitter went ravenous over that one, dude.
Oh my God. What is wrong with these people? So here's the funniest thing about these people keying other people's cars. A lot of these people bought the cars back when they had no idea of his, whatever, if he went left, went right. They didn't really know what Elon thought. They bought the car because they liked the car, and now they have to worry about getting damage to it in a parking lot. It's ridiculous. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's one of the dumbest things in society. And that lady did that support fascism. What are you talking about?
I want her to
fascist. It's literally fascist what they're doing and forcing Tesla people not to drive Teslas.
I don't think most people know the definition of it. That's one. 2, it's like, I thought electric vehicles is what the left wanted. I thought they liked EVs. I thought that was like the sustainable, the right thing to do. Like, every time the ozone layer, guys, come on. What the fuck? Like, I honestly, dude, like, people are the problem with this whole topic is that if you already voted for Harris, if you already stand on that side of the fence, it doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter. We're wasting our breath because they are like this. They don't want to hear it. They're not going to listen to logic, and they're just going to stay. They're in the club. I'm on this team. You're on that team, and you. That's it. Doesn't matter what you say, and they're locked in their ways, and that's fine with me because I at least listen to the other side.
No, that is the problem with politics now. We no longer worry about the issues. It's about picking your team and defending whatever ridiculous thing your team says instead of actually looking at the topics. Listen, I voted for Trump, and I thought he was our best option. I'm not happy with everything he's done. I don't like some of the Israel stuff. I don't like he's not perfect, but
No one is.
I've got to go with the one who makes the most sense for the United States. And right now, that's what I saw. And and for Elon to get in trouble, like that drives me. I'm like, this dude is a billionaire, literally has paid the most taxes of anyone. Came over here, lived the American dream from South Africa, and now all he wants to do is make the government more efficient.
That's what drives me crazy. I'm like, guys, this guy could do whatever he wants with his time, and he's choosing to spend his time to make things better. And you guys don't like that? Like what? The logic, man, it drives me crazy. But honestly, obviously, I voted for Trump because I was at the Bitcoin conference. It was July 27th last year, which was my birthday. I got to see Trump speak on my birthday. I was in the front row. It was very cool. And he said, Bitcoiners, you're going to make so much money. We're going to make Bitcoin. We're going to have a Bitcoin reserve. And he wants America to be the crypto and AI capital of the world. And in the industry I work in, it's my world. This is my livelihood. Of course, I'm going to vote for that guy. That had very little to do with. I'm a one-issue voter. Crypto. That's my life. That's what I do for a living. So, yeah, there's some things I lean left on. There's some things I lean right on. But the Biden administration and Elizabeth Warren did about everything they could, and Gary Gensler, to blackball crypto, and it was insane what they were doing. And literally, Trump gets elected, things turn around, and we're probably going to see the craziest bull run we've ever seen in our lives, probably in the next couple of months. I mean, Bitcoin's already back above 100K right now. So, yeah, I couldn't be. But where we started was I'm giving away a Tesla. Sign up, links down below in 3 days. Man. And if you don't win that one, try again, because there's 3 more chances. And, I hope someone in the Cooksey mob wins it. That'd be dope.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. AJ, man, I appreciate everything. I think I've kept you longer than I told you I was going to. That always happens. We start chatting. Anything else you want to get off your chest, my man?
Yeah, man, I'm grateful to be here. I've been wanting to come on your show for a while. Probably, circle back in a couple months or whatever. Maybe, twice a year or something. I'd love to have you come on my channel as well. Open door. I think what you're doing for the space for motocross is awesome. I know that a lot of people their hands are tied, their lips are sealed, and they can't say what they want to say. And I'll give it to you, dude, right or wrong, up or down, left, right, or upside down. You say what's on your mind, and you give it straight with the facts that are in front of you. And I wish more people operated that way, because like the secrets and the lies and the you can't talk about this, like that all that shit is we're all tired of it. The unsilent majority are tired of that mentality. And I just appreciate you as a creator. I was a fan of your channel before we even met. And that says a lot. So, dude, I think keep on keeping on, brother. You're the man.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome anytime you want. Have you tried? I know I got you a little tiny bit of Nano Xtreme. Have I got you a big one yet?
I tried it that one time, but I don't have one at home.
Okay. I'm sending you some. All the guests get Nano Xtreme, so I'm going to have them send you out a bottle. And dude, I'm telling you, this stuff is going to hurt the opiate industry. It's so good.
Good. I hope it does, because I obviously, growing up racing, you see that stuff just consume people, man. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
And that was a big inspiration for why they did it. So good. AJ, where can people find you?
Yeah, so AJ writes crypto on. I post most on Twitter. I also am a YouTuber. I just built this new studio. There's nothing behind me because it's a new studio. But I'm bringing my live streams back. I probably live stream 3 or 4 times a week, and then I have additional videos as well. I want to post on Instagram more. I'm probably trying. I'm almost at 30K on Instagram, but really Twitter and YouTube are my 2 biggest focuses. I'm grinding out, about to have my first baby. I have like a daughter next month, like June 10th, June 11th. And if it's June 11th, she would have the same birthday as Cooksey. So that would be pretty funny. But yeah, I do crypto for a living. I'm a calculated risk taker, period. Last year I became a millionaire, and now this year is about multiplying it by 10. I am very straight up about, the amount of money I make and the trades I do. I have like a Telegram group where I literally tell people exactly what I'm doing before I do it. And a lot of people in crypto, they talk about it, they act about it. Not everyone is about it. Not everyone has the balls to put $120,000 on the Eagles. Okay, I didn't feel that good going into it, but like what the WTF factor, that being able to look past everything and take a big chance on yourself, that's what got me into crypto. I literally listened to crypto, one AirPod in my ear for years, just wishing I could like get the capital together to make it happen. And then I got a job writing for a content creator, and it kind of snowballed from there. And a couple of years later, dude, here we are. And it happened because when you decide, okay, you know what, I'm doing this, and you get focused up, Cooper Webb on the gate, nothing else matters. I think motocross racers would be great crypto traders, man. I'm going to say it again. They make really good crypto traders. If you want it bad, if you want to make it to Loretta's in crypto, start focusing up, because if you make it to Loretta's in this game, you get rich very quickly. So come join the party.
Dude, and I'm so stoked because I saw you where you were before and where you've gone the last few years.
Insane, dude.
Inspiring, dude. It's inspiring, and I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. So
thank you.
Awesome,
you.
brother.
Means a lot.